y'all. This is Carrie, and I am doing my 50 at 50 recap for the year 2022. So, as you all know, that this year was my 50th birthday. So, my to do for this year was to have or go on 50 trips between January 1st and December 31st of 2022. Almost made it, not quite, but I did hit 26 different locations this year. So just gonna recap. Everything wasn't able to be captured, but I do want to do like a year in review so you guys can see some of my adventures and the fun that I had on my 50th birthday year. So the very first trip that I took back in January was to see my youngest granddaughter turn one. So that was a big trip. It was fun to come and see her, have her first birthday, spend time with the family, and get a chance to see her turn one. It's always good to spend time with the princesses. The second trip was a really fun trip. Got a chance to go to New York City. Spent about 4 days there with my god sister. We did a whole lot in those 4 days. We saw Aladdin on Broadway. We went to the Apollo Theater. We went to this rooftop location, which was all decorated in pink and had a bunch of great places to do selfies. She stayed in Harlem, so while she was at work a couple days, I kind of just walked around the streets of Harlem. It was freezing cold and the rats are big, but it was a really nice trip. So New York was the next trip. And then in March, I went to New Orleans for I think like a weekend for a women's empowerment conference, and that was really nice. Met some really great people who became friends. Got a chance to see Fantasia in person. She was our keynote speaker along with her husband. There was a concert with Dougie Fresh. So got a chance to see him in concert again. So that was really cool. Also in March, a quick trip to Miami and also a quick trip to Greensboro, North Carolina. Can't remember what I did in those places, but those were just like quick stops. Uh, After that, my son is in school in Winston-Salem, so I went there to visit him for a little bit, probably just like a day trip in Winston-Salem to probably get some food, take him out to dinner or something like that. Then April was a big month, so went to LA for once again. That was a quick trip, but the most important trip of my whole 50 at 50 year was my trip to Hawaii. I was in Hawaii for 6 days, me and two friends, and we had the best time ever. Our hotel was right beachfront. We went to the Polynesian Cultural Center. We stayed on the beach for endless hours. We toured the whole island of Honolulu, Waikiki, shopped a whole lot, ate a lot of different foods that are native to Hawaii. One thing I didn't like, which is a note to you if you are thinking about going to Hawaii, a lot of their buildings and restaurants are open air type places. Even hotels are open air type places. So the birds come in and out, and I'm not a bird person. So note to self, if you don't like birds, that may not be the spot to go. But it was completely gorgeous. I would definitely go back. There's lots of surfing if that's what you're into, lots of hiking. People say Hawaii is really expensive, but I didn't find that to be the case. I didn't find the food was any more expensive in Hawaii than it is in Charlotte. So, yes, Hawaii is a thumbs up. I also went to Atlanta in April, probably for just like a weekend trip to just hang out with friends or whatever. Atlanta's just a quick 3-hour drive from Charlotte, so not really a big deal. A lot of people go to Atlanta and think it's just, the end all, but it's just Atlanta. So in May, I went to Salisbury, North Carolina, where they have the cherry wine festival. So cherry wine is a soda that was started in North Carolina. So they had this big festival every year in Salisbury, North Carolina. So we went and spent the day there. They have like everything made out of cherry wine soda. So it was interesting to see. In May, I also made another return trip here to Detroit, or Michigan, to pick up my oldest grand princess. And then we went to our next destination, which was Chicago. That was her birthday trip. She turned 3, so she got a chance to go on a train ride, just her and I, to Chicago. She went to the American Girl doll store, got her first American Girl doll, and we did some other little sightseeing stuff. Had some Chicago deep dish style pizza. But the most monumental thing was that it was her first train ride, and she did really, really well, considering we were still kind of in mask at that point. So she did really well. A next trip, which was pretty much my birthday trip, because I think it was like the day after my family did their family vacation to Orlando. More specifically, we went to Disney World. Spent a week there. We hit all the parks. We did Magic Kingdom, Animal Kingdom, Epcot. In was a Hollywood Studios. It seemed like it was one more, but we hit them all. So it was really fun. Got to see the girls being excited about Disney World. Saw the fireworks at um the Magic Kingdom at the castle. So it was really cool. It was a really cool. It was extremely hot. That's the downfall of going in June, but that was a nice trip. I also went to a city in North Carolina called Dunn. It's a really, really small town. But that was one of my first times ever seeing a true cotton field. It was like cotton for days. So it kind of brought up, some feelings that I have about, the whole slavery thing, and, young people not being appreciative of things that their ancestors have went through. So that was really kind of, it stirred up some feelings. I went with a friend and actually had a pick of cotton that I keep in a centerpiece in my bathroom, just to kind of remind me. Went to Atlanta again in July, and also went to Fort Lauderdale. That was a quick little day trip just to kind of relax, and then came back the next day. Also went to Tampa, Florida. That was another quick little day trip. Came back the next day, hung out at the beach for a minute. Went to Myrtle Beach. Myrtle Beach is not really a big deal, but it was one of my best friend's birthdays. So I met her and some other people down in Myrtle Beach. Just went to dinner. I hung out for a little bit. And then I came back home because I don't feel the need to stay over in Myrtle Beach because it's so close. Went back to Winston-Salem in September. That was my youngest son's birthday. So I went up there to take him out to dinner for his birthday. Went to Spartanburg, South Carolina. Can't remember why I went there though, but I went to Spartanburg. That's about like maybe a 40-minute drive from where I stay. So I don't know what I was doing in Spartanburg. October, went back to Atlanta again. Went to Columbia, South Carolina. October, I came up to November, came up to Detroit to visit for my best friend's wedding. So that was really nice to see her get married. She's very happy, so I'm very happy for her. She deserves it. In December, rounding out the year, we went to Richmond, Virginia. That was kind of like a weekend trip, so that was kind of cool. Went to Atlanta again, and to close it out the same way that I started it, I came to Detroit to spend Christmas with my family. So I ended just where I started. So it was cool trying to get to 50. I wish I would have actually achieved my goal, but I can continue this for next year and just add on to my 26, 27 vacations that I've taken this year. But it was fun trying to get there. A lot of stuff came up. It gets kind of pricey. But my main trip for my birthday that I treated myself to was my trip to Hawaii, and it was more than worth the money. So I just encourage you all to do something special for yourself. Even if you don't achieve your goal, just go out there and do your best and try to do whatever it is that you can do to have fun. That's my version of self-care. Even though I hate that word, but that's my version of self-care, is traveling and doing things that I haven't done before that I've always wanted to do. So once again, this is Carrie. This was my 50 at 50 challenge for myself. And I hope you guys have a happy new year. Set your goal for 2023 to do something for yourself. Bye.